All right, morning everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Daily High. I will be your only host, Tom Vase. We don't normally stream on the weekends, but since I did that stream yesterday before market opened and was actually on the road uh, while the whole craziness went down, felt a little obligated that we need to bring you a show because if we wait till Monday, it won't be as exciting to talk about the yesterday's reversal. So let's see if anyone's watching us live right now. We got about 30 live viewers, and yeah, comment in the stream. How's the audio? How's the video? And then we're gonna go on to the charts. Let me open that up, and here we go. All right, morning to them. It's hard, man. You're always on? It's impressive. Mustafa. I know a Mustafa. I don't know if you're the Mustafa that I know. AV is good. All right, good. Okay, cool. All right, so let's do it. The monthly chart has now gone back above that trend line, which is a good sign. We were never really worried about the monthly chart. In fact, at the end of yesterday's video, someone asked me how far would the monthly chart have to go for us to be bearish, and I said we would have to repeat the candle from February of 2025 and then have another bad month after that. And we're not even close to it. If this month can close bullish, that would be great. If we can close this month above 120, man, am I going to be bullish for the fall. That would be absolutely incredible. I think 120 is really the big line for the end of the month. We'll talk about that at the end of next week, of course. You know, the weekly chart candle is looking much better. It is close to getting a positive tone-based volume. It has a beautiful CMF. Look at this CMF. It broke all the resistance that it had. And wow, I am very, very impressed by the CMF. We could get lucky and avoid, uh, a crossover on the MACD. That would be very, very nice if that happens. And on the other side, we got a little bit of work to do. We're not even reversing yet. So the RSI has the longest, has the biggest hurdle. So does the EXA as well. EXA is on the way down. It would need some help to turn around. Now the weekly chart is, look, it's very unlikely we're going to get an MRI top here. It looks like we will have to make do with an MRI warning candle. The yellow arrow will remain on this chart forever. And we don't get these very often. If you go back, you're not going to see a lot of yellow arrows. They're very, very rare. It basically, I put that into the indicator to just give me a heads up, a visual heads up that the MRI is going to come next candle. But it doesn't have to come next candle, right? Like the price could reverse with the warning candle. It's not as good as an MRI, but that is good for us if we are bullish. By avoiding the MRI top, if we can get back again that 120 hurdle, if we can get back over 120, well, if we get back over 120 on current candle, we're going to print the MRI top. But I don't think we're going to get over 120 by Sunday night. I just don't see how we're going to get to over 120 over the weekend. So if we get to over 120 next week, we're already going to start a brand new MRI count. And then we're going to get a green star candle the week after next week, which would be absolutely perfect. This turned out to be a pretty good case scenario. Now we get to the star of the show. The star of the show was, of course, an MRI buy. It had nothing to do with any speeches by any Fed chairman, had nothing to do with news events, had nothing to do with economics. And of course, I'm kidding, right? So, but it is ironic. It is ironic how this was the day. I didn't know Jerome Powell was going to speak. When I did that video yesterday morning, I said we have a chance for the 10 a.m. reversal to do its thing. I had no idea Jerome Powell was going to open his mouth. And I sure as hell didn't know what was going to come out of his mouth when he was going to open it. But here's what I do know. That even if you followed blind TA, it would have worked out this time. And guess what? When we look back at what happened, in August, sometime at the end of the year, all we're going to see is an MRI top called the perfect top and an MRI buy called the perfect buy the dip. And that's what yesterday's video was all about. And I even said in yesterday's video, hey, if there was ever a long shot to just blindly buy the dip, it was going to be at 10 a.m. yesterday. And we're going to go and look at what happened at 10 a.m. Here's the hourly chart. When I was doing my stream, I think I was doing my stream right here on this 8 a.m. candle. And I think my stream ended close to 9 a.m. And the 9 a.m. candle didn't do anything special. But here is that 10 a.m. candle. And starting at exactly 10 a.m., it was nothing but up. We topped on another MRI top on the hourly. Man, these hourly MRI tops have been absolutely incredible. Look at this prior MRI top right here on Monday, August 18th. Perfectly tops us. And here we are again. We are pulling back a smidge, but that's not a bad sign. However, if we go back to the daily chart, all we did was come back to the area of resistance. We still have to break it. We are not out of the woods. But look at the S&P 500. Look at this massive run up in the S&P 500. Like, guys, these tariffs are a nightmare. I was, if you want to, I mean, this is a bad example, but well, maybe it's a good example. Walk into a really large, knowledgeable liquor store, like a good liquor store, not something shitty on the corner. Like walk into a proper liquor store and talk to the manager, and he'll tell you when they sell out of their current inventory, shit is gonna go up in price 20%. I was talking to one yesterday. I'm like, shit. He says some of the brands, like some of the good Irish whiskeys, they've shut down. These tariffs on some of the goods, they're about to really spike prices of alcohol. I mean, maybe it's a good thing. Maybe we're all going to drink less. People have no idea what the fuck is about to hit the pipe. So, I mean, I don't know. I think Trump got some dirt on Powell, and he told him he either has to quit, they're going to fire him, or he has to lower the interest rate to help Donald Trump. And here we are. There was no reason to lower the interest rate. If you look at the yield curve, right here, there's your 20 and your 30 year. They are rising. They've been rising for a year. Okay? Everything's been rising for a year. Let's look at the 10 year. Where's the 10 year? Well, 10 year is the green. That's this one. It's been rising a little bit for a year. Why is Powell lowering the interest rate? It doesn't make any sense. The only reason to lower the interest rate is to help the Donald Trump refinance the debt because his big, beautiful bill is about to add trillions of dollars to the debt. It's going to be nuts. I need to update the budget here. Uh, I also need to update these treasury numbers. What was my last piece of data? I usually mark my last piece of data. Huh. Yeah, I gotta update this sheet, and then I can't wait for the latest data. I can't wait for the latest data. By function, here we are. The last deficit. This is Joe Biden's deficit. 2024 was Joe Biden's deficit. The last deficit was almost $2 trillion. The only time the U.S. government ever went over 2 trillion was during the pandemic. So I leave those as exceptions. Prior to the pandemic, the deficit was less than $1 trillion. And this year, I think 2025 deficit is going to be over $1 trillion. I'm really, really curious where we stand. Actually, I can go and find out. The next piece of data is going to come out in 7 days. It's coming in 7 days. Oh, I also need to update the oil supply. I haven't done this. I haven't updated the spreadsheet in a while. Oh, wow. It's been since June. We really need to update those. And I really want to see what's going on with the American debt. Oh, man. There's a lot of good data here. I never got into the GDP data. Probably, but that takes so much time. But yeah, I can't wait to dig into these numbers. Let's go and take a look at, where's my source, latest data. By the way, White House learned how to do spreadsheets. This is awesome. We have historical data, latest data, monthly Treasury reports. Here we go. October. Nope. This is the last one was in June. Oh, I'm really curious where we stand. Really, let's see. Let's see. Let's all be surprised together. Boom, boom, boom. This is for the month. Wow, we had a surplus. Look at this. Look at this. Surplus. And on the year, we're at 1.337 billion in deficit. Okay. Look at net interest. Net interest is coming in at number 2. We can compare this to what it was last year at this time. I am curious. I am going to compare it to what it was last year at this time. So we're looking at June. So let's take a look. Last June, we were at a deficit, not a surplus. So we were at only 1,268. So not that different. Not that different. Look, 1,268 on the deficit. Net interest was 682. That's the most important line item is net interest. Maybe defense. 644 and 682. Let's see what we got. Well, 749, that's way higher. And defense, 682. So that's similar, right? It was 640 to 680? Yeah, 644. So war spending is up. Total deficit is up by only 100 billion, 1337 versus 1268. But remember, June was a deficit last year, and this year June is a surplus, which is surprising, but it is a surplus. Interesting. So let's see how this ends. I'm curious. How many months do we have left? So June, we have 1, 2, 3 months to go. We still got 3 months to go. And let's see where we land. Let's see if we break over under 2 trillion. I think it's going to be over. Or if it's going to be under, it's going to be under by like $100 billion. I think they'll fudge the numbers. I don't think they want to see the 2 up here. I think next year is going to be a 3. But this year, I think it's going to be like 198. I mean, that's what I'm betting on. $1,980,000,000,000. Very, very interesting. And the ETFs, quick data on the ETFs. This is a bad month. We're down 11,000 Bitcoin, but we're still near the top. That's very, very encouraging. Somebody wants me to look at the IWM. By the way, Ethereum is ready to tap out. Oh, man. 0.05. You guys know that's my ultimate top. I don't see how it can possibly break that. That's Ethereum. I mean, we're looking at a S&P 500. I don't see why IWM is going to be any different. IWM is about to reach a triple top. I prefer S&P 500. Here we are. See, S&P 500 is going to make a new all-time high next week, I think. And if it does, Bitcoin should rally. Thanks, V. Crypto comments. Nah, I'm not sure what OKB is. So is the bottom in? That's the question, right? It feels like it is. A rally like this tends to reverse the market, especially if Jerome Powell actually goes ahead and lowers the interest rate. But now he's created an expectation of lower interest rates. So let's see what happens. I think we're pulling back a little too much here. And we did hit resistance. Let's not count our chickens yet. I'm going to say this. If we can get a daily close above both moving averages one more time, I'm going to say the bottom is in. I'm also going to try to get Mark Wood on the show next week, and we'll see what he thinks. That's pretty much it for me, guys. I just wanted to come on and gloat a little bit about my perfect call on the market reversing yesterday. Streamed at about 8:30 in the morning, right at the lows. And I was hoping we'd go a little bit lower and then reverse at 10 a.m. But hey, beggars can't be choosers, right? We got our reversal. And the Bitcoin dominance is right at support. So this should be it. If you were praying for your altcoin season, I think it just ended. So think wisely. Gold isn't doing anything interesting. Silver rallied hard. Silver is at a new weekly closing high, and that's great. Green Star candle. Man, I would love to dump some silver at $50 a coin. Still got a bunch of silver. More than I should. Convert it into gold or something. All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Wanted to do a nice quick show. Enjoy your Saturday. I'm going to be barbecuing. Keep an eye on my Telegram. And I'll be posting some steak videos. Maybe I'll move them over to Instagram. Thank you all for watching. And see you all on the next one. Bye, guys. Bye, guys.